Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of TQM and also welcome to my channel Professional Tutor for Engineers. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, support and share. As I said in my previous videos and introduction video, so in my channel lots of job opportunities as well as information related to research and education related education related content will be posted, so it will be useful. Please support. And today we are going to discuss unit 1 introduction and lecture number 7. So in lecture number 7, so we will be continuing with the gurus of TQM. So in my previous two lectures also we have elaborately discussed about gurus of TQM. So if you are new to this channel, please watch my earlier videos so that it will be easy to understand this today's video. So gurus of TQM, so already we were discussing about previous classes like uh, Edward Deming and Juran. So their concepts we have discussed, and today's class we will be discussing about one more guru, Philip Crosby. So in today's class, what are the things we are going to discuss? So today's class we are going to discuss about Philip Crosby's contribution and how Philip Crosby's contribution has been implemented in ASQ manufacturing company. So before going to the contribution of Philip Crosby, just we can have a small introduction about Philip Crosby. So Philip Crosby is also one of the American quality gurus. So he was best known for his concepts of zero defects and do it right first time. And he has written so many books like Quality is Free, Quality Without Tears, and Let's Talk Quality and Leading. So these are few books that was written by Philip Crosby. So today we will discuss about Philip Crosby's contribution, how quality can be improved. So Crosby's contribution, Philip Crosby has contributed in three modules. So that is, his contributions can be classified into three. So first one is 4 absolutes of quality and 14 steps to quality management. And the third one is Crosby's quality vision. So he has contributed three topics related to improvement of quality in a particular product. So now we will discuss one by one in detail. So the 4 absolutes of quality. So what are the 4 absolutes of quality as per Philip Crosby? So he says that quality is defined as conformance to requirements. So what do you mean by conformance to requirements? So as I discussed in my previous lectures, so quality is nothing but conformance to requirements. So whatever the customer is expecting in a particular product, so that has to be confirmed. So then only you can say that the product is of good quality. So Philip Crosby is also insisting the same thing. So quality is defined as conformance to requirements. So that means, so whatever the customer's expectations or requirements in a product has to be confirmed. So that is the first absolute, and second one is the system for causing quality is prevention. The system for causing quality is prevention, and he says that so it has to be avoided, defects has to be avoided, zero defects. So it has to be these defects has to be prevent. And the third one is the performance standard must be zero defects. So always whenever they are manufacturing a particular product, there should not be any zero defects. So only he is famous for the concept of zero defects. And fourth one is the measurement of quality is the price of non-conformance. So non-conformance, so if the product is not confirmed as per the requirement, then we need to pay the price. So in terms of like rework, something like that. Okay. So these are all the four absolutes of quality. And next contribution of Philip Crosby is he has given a detailed 14 steps to improve the quality in a particular product. Okay, so he has suggested like same like Edward Deming. So Crosby also has suggested 14 steps. So now we will discuss one by one in detail. So the first step of Philip Crosby is make it clear that management is committed to quality. So first point, Crosby is insisting that the management should fully committed to quality. So that means they should also, the management also should involve in the quality process, and they need to give commitment that they will be giving good quality products to their customer. So the commitment should be, the first step is the commitment should be from the management side. And the second one is form quality improvement teams with representatives from each department. So the second step is quality improvement team. So like quality council or quality team. So it has to be formed from each and every department. So people have to form a quality council. So they will discuss how to improve the quality of the product. So the third step is determine where current and potential quality problems lie. So the third step is we need to identify where there is problem in the quality or where the defects are occurring. So that part has to be identified and completely eliminated. So that is called as determine where current and potential quality problems lie. Which area there is problem related to quality, that area has to be identified. And fourth one is evaluate the cost of quality and explain its use as a management tool. So evaluate the cost of quality is nothing but, so due to poor quality of product or defect, so what are the unwanted costs incurring? So that has to be evaluated. Okay, so that has to be found out and evaluate. So because that all will cost loss to the management. So that's what he means to say evaluate the cost of quality and explain its use as a management tool. And the fifth one is raise the quality awareness and personal concern of all employees. So fifth point is insisting on the quality, the related to qualities, the awareness has to be created in between the employees, and everybody has to take care and they need to work towards quality. So it is not a management concern. They should take it as a personal concern and they should work towards the improvement of quality of the product. And the sixth point is take actions to correct problems identified through previous steps. So they have identified, so whatever the previous problems they have identified, immediately action has to be taken to rectify those problems which are uh, causing problem in the quality of the product. And the seventh one is establish a committee for the zero defect program. So as we said in earlier, so Philip Crosby is well known for the concept of zero defect. So zero defect is nothing but, so there should not be any defect in the product. So each and every product should be a perfect quality without any deviation or errors. Okay. So what he means to say is we have to establish a committee for zero defect program. So a committee has to be framed and they need to supervise how to achieve zero defects in the company. And the eighth point is train supervisors to actively carry out their part of the quality improvement program. So Crosby is insisting that the supervisors has to be trained on the quality tools. They need to get trained on the quality tools and as well as they need to know how to guide their employees as well as improve the quality of a particular process. So they need to get well trained so that the quality can be achieved, improvement in the quality can be easily achieved. And the point number 9 is hold a zero defects day to let all employees realize that there has been a change. So zero defect day. So zero defect day is nothing but, so everybody has to realize that they have produced the components without any defects. So zero defects day has to be held and all the employees has to be honored who all has been contributed, and they also need to realize that so their contribution is there. So that is called as a hold a zero defects day. And point number 10, encourage individuals to establish improvement goals for themselves and their groups. So additionally, Crosby is insisting that individuals should fix some goal. So they need to be encouraged, they need to fix some goals and work towards them, work towards that goals. And additionally, as a team or as a group, everybody has to work towards the improvement of the quality of that particular product. And point number 11, encourage employees to communicate to management the obstacles they face in attaining their improvement goals. So once they are fixed, they need to improvement for a particular product, they need to show some improvement. So when they are working towards that process, they may face some difficulties. So those difficulties has to be communicated to the management. So obstacles is nothing but difficulties. So this communication has to be informed to the management so that they can take necessary action and the employees can work towards their goals. And point number 12 is recognize and appreciate those who participate. So each and every employee, whoever is participating in the quality improvement process, they need to be recognized and as well as appreciated. So it will be an encouragement so that they can work better in the upcoming days. And point number 13 is establish quality councils to communicate on a regular basis. So as I discussed earlier, so quality council has to be formed. So quality council, they should meet on regular basis to discuss the problems related to quality and how to rectify the problems. So he means to say that establish quality council to communicate on a regular basis. So quality council has to be formed, and so that they can discuss the problems related to quality of a particular product, and they can also find solution for those things. And 14th point is do it all over again to emphasize that the quality improvement program never ends. So is instituting that do it all over again. So it has to be done frequently so that it will never end. The quality improvement process will never end. So do it all over again to emphasize that the quality improvement program never ends. So it is not a never ending process. So always quality is a continuous improvement process. So that has to be insistent. So then only the quality improvement can be, the quality of the product can be increased. So these are all the 14 steps that were suggested by Phillips Crosby to improve the quality of a particular product. So next one is Crosby's quality vaccine. So the third contribution of Crosby is quality vaccine. So what do you mean by vaccine? So how it is related to Crosby? So normally we say we put vaccine to prevent, so to prevent us from some disease like that. So similarly, Crosby's quality vaccine is explained as a medicine for management to prevent poor quality. Okay, so vaccine is nothing but it is used to prevent us from any diseases. So similarly, according these terms, as per Crosby'S quality vaccine, so vaccine is explained as a medicine for management to prevent poor quality. So to prevent poor quality, so what are the things that has to be followed by the management? So Crosby has classified the vaccine as five sections. So section number one is integrity, and section number two is systems. Section number three is communication. Section four is operation, and section five is policies. Okay, so five sections of vaccine. So now we will discuss one by one in detail. So first one is integrity. So what do you mean by integrity? Treating quality with absolute seriousness from top down. So he means to say that the quality has to be uh, implemented from top level management till the bottom level management. So as we discussed in our previous lectures, so quality, if entire entire organization is getting involved in the process only, the improvement can be done. So integrity is nothing but integrating all the departments from top level to bottom level to improve the quality process. So treating quality with absolute seriousness from the top down. So everybody has to take it serious and work towards the improvement of the quality process. And the second section is systems. So what do you mean by systems? So putting proper measures in place for quality costs, customer satisfaction, and continuous review. So system is nothing but how the operating procedure. So putting proper measures in place for quality cost. So as we discussed, quality cost is nothing but the cost that is occurring due to unwanted unwanted defects, scrap, rework, so like that. So to avoid those things, so proper measures has to be taken, and so that the customer will get satisfied, and the continuous review of that process has to be taken into consideration. So that is called as system. And third one is communication. Part 3 of Crosby'S vaccine is communication. So ensuring all employees understand expectations and requirement. So communication is nothing but, so whatever the customer is expecting in a product, that has to be met by the people who are manufacturing, and it has to be communicated. So all employees should understand the expectation of customer and what is the requirement by them to achieve that particular requirement, particular goal. And third one is operations. So sorry, fourth one is operations. So what do you mean by operations? Fostering a culture of doing things right the first time to prevent errors rather than simply inspecting them after the fact. So the fourth cross-based vaccine part is operations. So in this point, what he means to say is, so whatever you are doing, so do it right at the first time, and there should not be any errors. Okay, so that is called as zero defect. He mean to say, whatever you are doing, it has to be done right at the first time, rather than after doing and inspecting. In the beginning itself, we need to do it right at the first time, so that these steps like inspection, those things can be eliminated. And fifth one is policies. So what do you mean by policies? Aligning corporate rules with overall quality objectives. So he means to say that the policies related to quality also has to be aligned. So it has to be created as a rule, corporate rule. So the policies related to quality has to be framed, and it should be the objective of the company. So the objectives, the quality objectives has to be specified. It has to made it should be made like a policy so that everybody can follow, and it so that the improvement in the product can be achieved. So these are all the 5 sections of quality vaccine. So now we will discuss about a case study. So implementation of Crosby'S principles. So how Crosby'S principle is being implemented in some particular companies. So here you can see one company, ASQ Manufacturing Company. So this company has implemented uh, the principles of Crosby, and they had found good result. So they have found uh, good improvement in their product quality. So how they have implemented, we will discuss this in detail. So here a manufacturer, ASQ Manufacturing Company is a manufacturing company with over 2000 products. So they are manufacturing 2000 products and 800 employees are utilized. So 800 employees are working in that company. And Philips Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality. So as we discussed in the previous topic, 4 absolutes of quality were taken into consideration. That is, quality means conformance to requirements, and prevention is the system of quality. So these 4 absolutes of quality, so that concept was implemented in this company. Okay, the company started with intensive training for senior management, which then rolled out to the entire workforce. So to implement this concept, the training was given to the senior management, and later on to the middle level management, and finally to the lower level management. So first they were giving training on Philip Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality, and finally they implemented this concept and they got a very good result. So now we will discuss what was the results obtained by them after implementing 4 absolutes of quality. Following a pilot run of problem solving process, so they have taken some particular area and they implemented the Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality, and the company recorded a 20% increase in zero defect products. So as we discussed, the concept behind Philips Crosby is producing zero defect products. So zero defect products is nothing but, so you should produce a product with nil defect. Not even a single defect should be there when the entire product is completely manufactured. So after implementing this concept, they saw a 20% increase in zero defect product. So 20 percentage of the products were zero defect, and a 50 percentage reduction in product returns. So and as like earlier, so the return of the product has been totally decreased to 50%. Nearly 50 percentage of their product were not returned. Okay, and 50 percentage reduction in product returns. The product that was returned by customer has gradually decreased to 50 percentage. So this was the benefit that was obtained by ASQ Manufacturing Company by implementing Crosby's 4 absolutes of quality. So if you want to know the uh, detailed case study how they have implemented, so you can go to this link, American Society for Quality, and you can have a look at the detailed case study. So how, so step by step procedure it is given, so how it has been implemented. So all those things you can know from that case study. So this is one of the case study that has been implemented using cross-based principles. So that's all for today. So I hope you understood today's session. So just we will summarize the session, today's session. So today what we were discussing, so today we were discussing about Phillips Crosby's contribution to improvement in the quality process. So Phillips Crosby, yeah, we were discussing about 4 absolutes of quality and 14 steps to improve the quality management and Crosby's quality basin. And followed by we have seen a case study how uh, the company ASQ Manufacturing has implemented Crosby's principle and how it has got benefited. So I hope you understood the today's class. So next we will meet with a new topic of TQM in the upcoming class. So thanks for watching. So if you would have liked this video, please subscribe and support and forward to your friends. So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.